and welcome to One Mom is Equal to All Moms. My wonderful guest here is Dr. Simmi Harpalani, and what a wonderful set you are wearing. I have to start with that. And
Good
your background
morning.
looks amazing, Dr. Simmi. So, one of the things which I want to start with today is actually I was very, very surprised when I saw that you had a background of medicine, homeopathy in particular. So let me start with a bang asking you homeopathy, jewelry, medicine, how did it all meet together, Dr. Simi?
It's a long story, but I would say it's an interesting story. I was born and brought up in Nagpur in a very joint family, a very sincere student. I always wanted to be a doctor. And this is how I secured a medical seat. I got admission in homeopathic college in Nagpur. I was one of the top ranker and finished my graduation at Nagpur itself. After that, I did internships in different colleges and different hospitals under different doctors. Within 2 years, I was ready to start up my own practice, and that's what I did. So my sisters are also doctors. My brothers are into pharmaceuticals. So we had a nice background, and I started my own practice. It went very well. I practiced for 7 good years. Yeah. And then thought of settling down when I
Wait,
got
wait,
engaged.
wait,
Yeah.
wait, Dr. Simi. Let us go back to the young Simi. Was she playing with jewelry and was she kind of getting dressed up? Was she fascinated by her mother and grandmother's jewelry? What was it? Was there always something, which was an intrinsic want, a need?
There was no fashion because I never got time to think about fashion or jewelry or clothing. It was all, padhai and play, and then have. So I belonged to a big fat joint family. So we were 9 siblings. So we never got time for other things. Like, family itself was a good place to be, and then studies. So I never actually played with a nail color as well. When I was getting engaged, I thought, okay, now I have to learn this bit of things to be look like that girly stuff and all. So it was always it was not never in my plate. In fact, even if I have to buy a small accessory, I would go with my best friend. That please come, let's go and we'll do it together. That was the young Simi. So
And was this young Simi? You said she was a studious person. Was she like? I mean, were you into any activities, playing, book reading, anything else that you were doing apart from your family? Was there something else? Any hobbies that you had in college or school or anything?
we used to just help our mother in the house, like cooking, then playing around with the home kitchens and all those stuff. Playing was always there because we were so many things, we so many people together, like even cousins and all. So we used to have a blast with games around and all the cricket because we had brothers in the house. So yes, all those stuff was always there. Reading was my hobby. I used to love reading spiritual books like as a child only. So yeah, those all
So,
were things.
so it's very nice that you're saying this because yesterday I was just reading a quote by somebody, I can't remember the name of the gentleman, who said that, our parents leave us early and our children, they go away their own life, but it's the siblings who continue to be together with you and it's the strongest bond. So I'm sure that. My questions today have taken you back into your childhood and of all the fun that you have and the bond that you share with your siblings.
Right.
So, thank you for sharing that with us, Dr. Simi. So, now this young girl, she's a medical doctor ready to practice and then decides to pivot her career. So, tell me, when was this and why did the change happen? How did you, kind of
Uh,
come
as I
into,
said,
when did
I
you
was
come to UAE? Tell me that
yeah.
as well.
So I was well settled with my practice, and like I thought, okay, I've achieved everything what I wanted. And then thought of settling down in life. The proposal came like and I like this person, and I said yes, okay, we'll get married. Now he was settled in Mumbai at that point of time, so I thought Nagpur Mumbai would not be a big switch. And I asked him, give me a year's time, so I settle down with my patients. It takes time. And then my plan was to travel once in 15 days and keep practice here as well and in Mumbai. That was the whole plan. But within this 1 year of courtship, he shifted to Abu Dhabi. He got a
Oh.
better opportunity, and he said, okay, I'm moving to Abu Dhabi and it will be nice switch. So I thought, now, the whole plan is getting shattered. But when I committed, I committed. So I thought, okay, let me also move with you. After moving to Abu Dhabi, I realized like the homeopathy wasn't that known in the region, and there were not much opportunities in 2009 when I shifted. So I thought of going back and studying again. So my husband said, let's let me settle down, save some money, and then we'll go back. So I went back to Aurangabad to finish my masters. That kept me busy within these 2 years span. And I had high hopes that, okay, after finishing masters, I'll be doing better and we'll move back to India. But this didn't happen. We got like he got very he started loving Abu Dhabi and the life in UAE. So, and by this time, when I got end of the 3 years of my masters, I was already pregnant, and we thought of welcoming this child. And after being mommy, everything changed around me. Like I wasn't the same Simi who was career oriented, who wanted to work, who wanted to pursue a lot of things. I would say I just went to a coma of motherhood. Like,
It's
didn't realize I didn't realize anything around me, but I was just being mommy. So everything was centered around that child, and I was enjoying it. So this is how I got departed from my homeopathic career slowly.
I think it's
And
the nurturing, the nurturing characteristic which a woman has, and
yes,
just looking at the child, which is so helpless and dependent on you. And I think you probably got really
yes,
involved into that. So many
yes,
people do. Many people, I mean, we know that there are a lot of challenges which people face, especially when they are alone. And a place like Abu Dhabi, it's different, but of course we have the Indian community everywhere, and we have a lot of support. I'm not saying that we don't, but sometimes it's the distance which can make us feel a bit lonely. And I've lived here for
yes.
33 years. I've had a young baby here, so I kind of get what you're saying. But then so this went on for how long? Were you just in completely mommified mode?
Yeah, until he went to nursery, and I started getting 2 3 hours of my own self. So after his second birthday, 2.5 years, when he started going to nursery, then I realized, what I done to myself? Like, then I just, it's like wake up and shake up moment for me. So, so then I was quite nervous and thought of going back to work, but that nanny concept and keeping a child at a daycare, those all concepts I could not digest myself. Like, so I felt myself I'm a too motherly person and didn't wanted to give up on that. And I would give the credit to my mother, the way she has nurtured the family. So this all happened, and then I decided, okay, I'll go back to work as a part time. But then medical thing doesn't happen as
Yeah.
a part time stuff. It's a full time commitment. So now I had to make a choice whether I have to full time committed to my profession, being a doctor, or full time committed to my kids. And the choice wasn't very easy. Like there was a lot of turmoil inside my heart and mind both. But then one fine day I decided, okay, I have to be a full-time mom, but at the same time, what should I do? Uh, Being family of doctors, my father was businessman. So he said, you have to be your own boss. If you have to look after your kids and you have to do something, you have to be your own boss. Now, how do you be your own boss? You have to start your own venture. So my daddy was in garments business. So I started from there. I started bit of a clothing business within friends and family, and I thought, okay, the fashion sense is there, and that boosted me a little bit. Then I started with clothes, jewelry, Indian shoes, and everything. So how do now I display? Where do I sell? So we started doing small exhibitions in the malls, in the hotels. And what motivated me is I see all my collections were like sold off. Like I will take and 70% of the stuff will be sold off within a day. So that boosted me and it kept me going, it kept me busy. It gave me the sense of doing something on my own. I felt myself financial independent again. So I took it as a part-time stuff, and eventually it kept going and going slowly. And I would say how the transition happened, it was very difficult because fashion was never my this thing. So I started traveling, understanding more on these subjects. I went to different places in India. Like I went to Rajasthan, I went to Gujarat, I went to South to see where these jewelries have been made, how they've been made, and what is the core of this business. So that interested me, and everything happened, and yeah.
Wait, Simi, I'm going to interrupt you. So, when you say that 70% of your goods were sold, that is an amazing amount because I know there is so much competition out there in the clothing or the jewelry
Right.
market. There's so much competition, and not that price is a factor or anything. Any whether it's expensive or cheap or middle range, everything like there's so much competition, so it's really amazing. So congratulations on that. So you must be having a great sense of style. And the second question that I actually want to ask you is that when you traveled all these places, did you blog?
I did not, because when I started blogging and social media, these things weren't there. Like I started in 2012, there was only Facebook and Gmail. People used to, for chatting and all, people used to use Gmail, and for social media, it was just Orkut and Facebook. And
Okay.
yeah, even Facebook didn't had much of platform to
Yeah,
sell
right. It was more
online.
of a, yeah, it was more of just, connecting with people and wishing each
Correct.
other and
So
sharing pictures. But I
right.
was, but blogging was there. Maybe at that time you were so busy with
I
your
was
work
not.
that you
Yes,
didn't,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And so that will bring me to, do you blog now?
No, not much.
So I'm a marketing person, so we'll talk about this again later.
Yes.
Tell me these journeys that you had where you traveled, and how did you get information about all this? Where to go, who to meet? Where was all this information? Where did it come
So
from to you?
it was all like it was. I'm right. I was trying to write something on a blank paper, to be very honest. So I thought, okay, where do I go? First, I went to Mumbai. I met few people. I Googled. Then after Googling, I just roamed around in the streets where these things are available, where the cardigans stay, how they do it. Similarly, I did with different cities. So I used to like, I used to go with my kids and my husband. They'll stay at some relative's place or they'll book a hotel, and I'll do out for my work. So I started doing research basically. Where are these things found? Where to go? I'll study 10 different suppliers or carriers. Next day, I'll research that, okay, which one will suit my needs. And then this is how it started. So slowly, I think this, for medical, I really learned hard and got some degrees. For this thing, the journey became my learning.
Wonderful. So when you say your needs, tell us more about that. What are you looking at when you're looking at a piece of jewelry, or when you're looking at a cardigan, or what are you looking for?
So for me, it's very important to understand what quality the thing is being made from. Like when we say artificial jewelry, people think it's artificial. It's just artificial jewelry. But in fact, being gold, being silver is more easier than selecting artificial jewelry. So in artificial jewelry, there are different metals used. Like people use nickel, brass, copper, zinc. the best and safest metal is brass and copper. So I thought that I have to only work with brass, and I would not touch zinc and these kind of metals. That was my decision. That being a doctor, also, what is not very healthy for the skin, we will not use that. And plus, the way they are plating it nowadays, we have so many products in the market which are not good for skin, which are not good for a long term effects. So it was very important for me to understand what things and what process the jewelry is going through to make it up. So those all things were very important for me to understand. And designing, like, for eventually I understood that even a small accessory can make you look different from morning to evening. you know you can have a
So,
same attire, but a accessory change will make you look a morning ready or a lunch ready or dinner ready.
so
So
you mentioned about styling also, isn't it? So is that a part of what you realized it was your intrinsic something?
yes, so for now I feel the medical and being doctor was my past life. Because I went through such a big change. When I look back, I think, okay, it was my past life, and now this is a new life maybe I'm living. So
But you know, Simi, it never goes away because look at you talking about the health benefits, or look at you saying the research, the scientific, the logical thinking which you are doing is definitely something which comes from your medical background, and the
medical,
fact
of
that
course.
you feel responsible for your customers' health,
Yes,
and I
exactly.
mean the potential customers, they're not even your customers yet, and you feel responsible for that. So I mean, it might be in the past, but it's not going away anywhere.
Yeah, I mean to say, if I compare two Simmis altogether, so yeah.
So wait, another question for you. Somewhere in between, I heard the word kids. So after your first one, you had another one?
Yes. So after my
Okay. And
first one, we had another one in 5 years. That
okay.
was again a break in my work. But then my husband has been very, very supportive. He respects me for, I left my place and I moved with him, leaving behind a well settled career. So he always supported me in whatever I've pursued or I want to do. Plus he's being in job, so job is always demanding. So we both, it was a mutual decision that one parent has to be available for the kids. And he's been always supportive. So when I delivered, actually he handled few of my exhibitions which were pending under the this thing. So he himself handled everything.
That
And
that's so
this is how.
amazing and so supportive. And I think this is an amazing Father's Day message to him.
Of course, of
with
course.
with the upcoming Father's Day celebrations going on. What better way that we can thank him? So go ahead, Simi. Please continue your story.
Yeah, I think without family support and without husband support, you could never achieve, a woman could never achieve. Because when a man plans something, it is like a race. Okay, they'll go and they'll achieve the target. When women plan something, it is like a hurdle race. So you have to go through all the hurdles to reach your destination. So, like in the morning, we were talking about, like, I thought, okay, 8 o'clock, I'll be ready and we both will be doing a session. But suddenly, my kid is at home today, and it
Yes,
made me, yeah, it made
yeah,
me
I
15,
think
15 minutes late for the
and
session. So,
women plan and then others plan around.
yes.
So that's okay and that's accepted. I think it's perfectly fine, and I'm so glad that you found the time. And we've been wanting to talk to each other for such a long time. So
I
thank
know.
you actually for doing this today. Tell me a little bit more about your jewelry theme. Do you have themes? Do you have patterns when you do exhibitions? How do you go about it? What runs in your mind, Simi, when you are planning an exhibition? And by the way, congratulations! You won many awards, and you've been a partner with a couple of major events. So tell us about that.
So it's like, as I said, it's been 10 years now, and the business moved from part time to full time. And being a doctor, that ethical behavior, I mean, I would say I have this reflects in my behavior, this reflects in my nature, this reflects in my business. So I've worked on the ideology of, not cheating somebody. What I'm selling I'll be selling the right quality to people. I'll explain them that what you're buying is this, and so this has kept me going for longer duration in the market, I would say. During COVID, also we did touchwood. We did very well because we were already online. Like when people were planning to go online, we were already online, and everything was in place. During exhibitions, I would say uh, I know fashion is very like it keeps changing. Fashion is never constant. So we know which season, which month of the year, what collections will be selling, like what people will like. So by now I know what to sell, when to sell, and where to sell. That makes me more prompt in my sellings. Plus we have an online store, so it's everything is in place. And I do work with particular collections, like so we have some jewelries which are like very much diamond looking, some are gold looking, real looking, which sell well in the destination wedding markets as well. Then there's a small segment which I design myself. So me and my karigars, we connect and we work on small concepts where we come up with some different designs which are one of a kind pieces. So yeah, this all is there.
Very. So, do you also segment them on the basis of for women and children? Do men have anything, any category
We
there?
have a lot of men have been asking us that please add some men's collection. So I have to travel for that. I have to go and meet some people in India where I am confident enough that they'll be supplying me the good stuff. So I'm just waiting for that. Hopefully it will happen soon. For kids, we have never given a thought, but yes, from teenage, when people start thinking about fashion, so we have collections for them as well. We and the jewelry we do is like suitable for all the cultures. It's not that only Indians or Asians would like, but everybody around in Dubai, everybody loves it. And as you said, doing events. So we have done a lot of beauty pageants where the contestants and every like we get an opportunity to work with all the contestants with their outfits. How do we style them for the ramp walk and all? So that is very interesting, and I love to do it. Yeah.
But does that take a lot of time?
It takes time, but then what doesn't take time? Like everything around you takes time. Even like success takes time.
Of course. I
Time
like
is
that.
a yeah, time is a new currency, I would say. So yeah.
Absolutely right. Tell us more about the awards that you received.
So I think I would say the hard work in past years is now paying off, and now my kids have become little like the younger one is 7 and the older one is 11, and the time I've invested in them is actually giving me returns because the way they are growing up, they are supporting me now. Like they like to support me for the work I do. So with their support and everything, I've been doing some good work. So in 2021, I was selected as a best e-tail store of the year by
Wow.
Mia Awards. Then in 2022, we got best e-preneur icon by Tally Awards. And now
Yeah,
in 2023, we have been selected as the best creative online jewelry store.
wonderful.
And yeah, so every year I think I
And
try to reach one new level.
and we are still only in half of the year. We've not reached the remaining. It's only congratulations to you and wishing you all the very best for everything that you're doing, Dr. Simi. And where do you see Simi blossoms further up? What is your vision?
I want to make Sims Blossoms as a global brand. I want every woman to have at least one piece of jewelry in their wardrobe from Sims Blossoms.
Very, very easy ambition. And when are you getting on to Oprah Winfrey? Tell me that.
Very soon.
Wishing you all the very best for that. And thank you so much for being here. Tell me something. Is there any mantra that you share, or you live by, or you talk about?
I
Anything which
would
guides
say
you?
I would say there are a lot of mantras. I mean, throughout my journey as a student, as a medical practitioner, as a mother, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot with the people who I was surrounded with. So I would simply say success never comes easy. You know, you all have to work hard. Maybe we see the lovely dovey faces, we see a lot of awards, but what comes behind those things is a hard work, which is actually behind the scenes. And I would say always we should be grounded. I've seen a lot of people after gaining success in their life, they just, become, they keep forgetting their roots from where they've come. We should always be stick to those roots, and we should remember from where we have come. Like, plus, one more thing what I have learned is we should surround ourselves with positive people. You know, company matters a lot. The company you are surrounded by, the people you are surrounded by, those people decides your thoughts and your destiny. So it's very important to choose with whom you work with, or yeah.
Wonderful. I think on that amazing note, I will say thank you to you and wishing you all the very best, more awards, more events, more designs, more creativity, more target segments, audience for you. And we'll catch up again, Dr. Simi. Thank you for being on
I
Shambhavi Spectrum. One mom is
yeah.
equal to all moms. Thank you so very much.
I would like to add one more thing.
Please do.
Looking at successful women like you, this also motivates me a lot. Like when I look at, you know, you are a mom, you are a woman, and the way you are supporting other women like us, respecting moms from different walks of life, it's just amazing. You're doing
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so very much for that. And we'll sign off now. Don't go away. We'll catch up offline. All right.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.